We about to see.
Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Rolam. That's my guy. What's your name, bro?
Jeremiah.
Yeah.
I don't have a fun name like Ro does.
Yeah. So this is, what are we calling this? Hardwood Hardheads?
Hardwood Hardheads.
Yes.
Episode 1.
Yes. Episode 1. Jeremiah, tell us what Hardwood Hardheads is.
So I feel like in my vast, long, lustrous 35 years of life,
Talk heavy.
I've become a huge basketball fan, and in multiple discussions and conversations with people about basketball, I've noticed that we all have opinions and we all stand on them. And typically your basketball arguments, whether they're rational or not, you're kind of hard-headed about it. And so my idea for the name of Hardwood Hardheads was, Hoopers call the basketball court the hardwood, right? And then we're hard-headed. So we're hard-headed about our basketball takes and our basketball opinions. And I think me especially, when it comes to my basketball, I feel how I feel. I know how I feel. And if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong. And so that's, I think the hope is to build a community of folks that love talking basketball and arguing and debating it and, have a little fun with it.
That's what we're here to do, for sure. For sure.
And that's what we do all the time. Me and you, we do that all the time.
Yeah, that's what we do. So this is the first episode, and today we're going to talk about, I think primarily we're here to talk about the finals. We're going to do finals predictions, finals previews. As you can see, my man has on his Celtics jersey, so he is ready and prepared. Okay. So we're definitely going to talk about that. But before we get to that, I think we want to talk about some of the things that's happening in the basketball zeitgeist, if you will. And the first thing that we have to discuss is the WNBA. First off, Jeremiah, can you just talk about your overall feelings around the WNBA right now?
Yeah, I think, man, I'm excited about where the WNBA is at for a lot of reasons. I'm a little concerned about how it's getting there. But, my wife played collegiate basketball and won 2 national titles in the NAIA division. And so for the last 11 years almost that we've been married, the W has been a huge thing in our household. And over the last 5 years or so, I've started to really tap into it. I'm excited that they're getting the shine that they deserve, that they've been, that they should have received for a while. The Asia Wilsons, Breonna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu's, those cats are crazy. I'm a little concerned about the way they're getting their shine right now. But I'm excited that they're actually getting shine. You know what I mean? Like the whole conversation, some publicity is good publicity, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So, what are your thoughts? How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm excited for the WNBA. I think this has been starting I guess even last year, even before we had, the Caitlin Clark hype and the Angel Reese hype and the Cameron Brinks and all of those women. Even before that, I felt that there was a surge in energy, even, watching. So I haven't traditionally watched the WNBA. I'll catch a few games here or there. And I knew, some of the top players. But last year I had a chance, I was watching like the finals with the Liberty and the Aces. And I'm like, yo, this is good basketball. And you could see even then, the crowd was filling out and it was an energy and there was an excitement in the arena. Just watching on TV, it just seemed just very exciting. So even before all the Caitlin Clark stuff and Angel Reese stuff, it already seemed to be growing and building momentum. And I think this new rookie class has just sort of taken that torch and they're just running with it. You know what I'm saying? And so I think it's great. I'm excited to see how the WNBA capitalizes on this attention, and I'm excited to see how they go to the next level. Right?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say this real quick. That
Yeah.
finals last year is gonna make me sound crazy. It felt like a real finals.
Okay.
Like, hear me out.
When you
Okay?
say a real finals,
I've seen some WNBA finals, right? They felt like water polo,
okay.
bro. When I tell you that the entire WNBA playoffs, with the New York Liberty especially, every game they played through their playoffs was like, yo, they're hooping. This
Yep.
is crazy. It was exciting. It was intense. Like, and then when they ran into the Aces, who are the Patriots of the WNBA right now, it was like, oh, this is juggernauts. Like it was the first time I felt like watching women's basketball in a series was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, bro. Who gonna win? This is crazy.
Yeah.
Kelsey Plum going crazy. Brianna Stewart not really showing up. Like Asia Wilson doing what she did. Jonquel Jones being crazy. Like it was hooping.
Yeah. 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 It was hooping for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
And so that brings me to my concerns for the WNBA.
Okay, let's get into it.
So for me, I'm used to having debates, conversations, differences in opinion around sports, right? And so again, I'm used to those like weird conversations. And I feel like now it's this weird phenomenon that's happening in the WNBA where it's like I think that I'm talking basketball with people, but I'm not actually talking about basketball. And let me give you an example. So I'm on Facebook. I see somebody on Facebook and they say Caitlin Clark is shooting 1 for 10 from the field right now. She's just chucking shots up. And I'm like, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, 10 shots? That's not really a lot of shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's when you're the primary scorer on the team, especially like 10 shots is that's like minimum, right? Actually, I would say if you're the scorer on the team and you take 10 shots, I'm questioning if you're even playing hard, right?
Right.
But what I realize is that the commentary that I'm hearing and I'm seeing is from people that are really not there for the game. They're just there to support Angel Reese, right? So there's a lot of people that said, we're going to watch LSU play Iowa, not because we care that it's going to be a great game, but we're going to watch this because Angel Reese, this black girl, is playing against this white girl that everybody claims is so good, right? And so if I say, yo, Caitlin can actually hoop, then it's like the response to me is, oh, you must not like black women. you you must hate black women. You must hate black people. And I'm like, nah, I don't hate black people. I'm just saying the girl can hoop. You know what I'm saying? And so what I
Let's set the
realized is
record
that
straight real quick. Let's
yeah,
set the record straight. Ro, do you hate black women?
I love black women. They're the best.
There we go. For the record.
They the best. They the best. But it just becomes this thing where it's like, I think I'm having, and the hard part for the WNBA is that there's so much controversy and so much conversation around race and societal things, right? And so that's what people are talking about. But you're also trying to talk about the sport and you're also trying to talk about basketball. And in there it becomes this layered ridiculousness. Speaking of ridiculousness, that drill was crazy. Was that a drill? What was that?
They're drilling a hole right outside.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to y'all.
Episode 1.
So maybe I should just keep going. I was about to, pass it off to you, but I guess
Okay, here we go.
all right.
Wow. So I agree, but also I'm kind of on the side of I am more team Angel Reese than Caitlin Clark, but not because I like Angel as much as I don't like what's happening with Caitlin Clark and how she is this savior of the WNBA as if it needed saving. And I think, to be fair, it definitely needed help, but it wasn't on life support. The WNBA has been around for 26 years, I think it is, or something of that nature. And I would just wonder, where was the NBA 40 years in? Where was the NBA 25, 30 years in? It wasn't until the 80s that you got live finals games from the NBA. Imagine being Bill Russell, winning your sixth championship, and then going home and watching you win the sixth championship on TV because they replayed it because it wasn't live. That's a thing. And I think
you cut out. I think you cut out, bro.
Oh, can you hear me now? Am I here now?
Oh, there we go. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I was saying, imagine being Bill Russell, winning a championship, and then going home and watching it live because it didn't happen. They didn't play it live. They had to restream it, right, or replay it. And so the WNBA is not that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. Sure, they only make $200 million a year, and they're still growing. And I think, stand by.
So I'll just jump in here as they're drilling the hole, and as soon as they're finished, Jeremiah, you could just go ahead and cut me off and jump back to what you were saying. But I think the statement of they were not on life support, like they didn't need quote unquote saving. I mean, okay, cool, but they needed something. Like they needed a star and they needed a villain. They needed a story. They needed storylines. And I think not just Caitlin, obviously, like Caitlin brought pieces of that and Angel brought some pieces to that as well. And you know what? Not even just those two, like, which I think is majority then for sure. But even like stories of I can't remember the young woman's name, but the I don't know where she's from, but she's AAPI. I think she might be from the islands, but her story, you know what I'm saying? Or, Camila Cardoso, her story, right? Like all these different stories that you're starting to hear more of from these young women, to me also makes it interesting. And they needed that for it to be interesting, right? Like, who are y'all? Like, it's not even just about the basketball, quote unquote. Now it's about the story that brought you to this place. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say this to what you said right there, Ro. You a Batman fan? I think you froze. I think you froze.
Oh, I'm back. Yeah, my bad.
Right. Are you no, I can't. I'm apologizing to you. They got a whole construction.
Yeah, I'm a Batman fan. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the Dark Knight movie with the Joker. Who was the star of the movie?
Batman.
Who was the star of the movie?
Of what? Of Batman?
Who was the star of that movie? That was the Joker's movie.
Bro, don't. Okay. That
was the.
Who made you continue with your point, sir? Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Ro. Who's got the more memorable lines in The Dark Knight? Is it Batman or is it the Joker?
I mean, for me, what does Batman say in that movie? He says, is it that movie where he talks about being the what does he say? Be a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain?
Yeah, he did say that. Okay. We're gonna ignore what's happening right here.
Okay. Yeah, do your thing.
No, he did say that. But what did but where was that on a t-shirt?
Okay, cool. Why so serious?
What was on a t-shirt? Why so serious?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
That was the Joker's movie, bro. And then when you fast forward, that's crazy. When you fast forward to The Dark Knight Rises and you watch the movie with Bane, right?
Okay.
I was born in the dark. You merely learned from it. Like that's the bad guy makes the movie.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying that's where I'm kind of not on Caitlin Clark's side, is the bad guy makes the movie. And we're giving Caitlin all of this accolade and all of this stature. Caitlin Clark doesn't matter if Angel Reese doesn't do this. Right? If Angel doesn't hit her with that when she beats her for the championship, which by the way, Caitlin never won a championship. If she beats her for that and doesn't give her that trash talk right back, we don't talk about the W.
Right.
And so I feel for Angel because she's not getting the respect that I think she deserves. But I also kind of feel for Caitlin because I wonder if she's going to live up to the expectations that non-basketball people have.
My fault. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I also feel for Caitlin because I wonder if she's going to live up to the expectations that non-basketball people have of her.
Yeah. And yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of difficulty that come with both of these roles, right? You have your the villain role. And so part of the conversation that I was having with people was, we're tired of seeing Black women be villains.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the conversation we were having. And I'm like, yes, I get it. But on the one hand of that, though, I understand what you're saying. But on the other hand, like you said, like one could argue she's the most important piece to this. Like that's what I think. Like, when I think about like Maya Moore, Candace Parker, Stewie, they haven't had the opposing force. Right? They haven't had like the people that we thought could beat them. Right? It was like when they show up, they're gonna win. Like they step on the court, is like they don't have.
A'ja Wilson's the best basketball player in the world. She's the best female basketball player in the world. You never believe somebody can pose her a threat.
Right. There's no rival. And so that's not it's like Superman. You go Batman, I'm gonna go Superman. The thing that makes Superman uninteresting to a lot of people is that nobody can beat him unless you have kryptonite or you have something.
No, I think to your point there, even with the Batman versus Superman movie, when Batman dog walked him, there was still the following conversations of like, but Superman let him win, bro. Superman. It's like, okay, cool. So he's God. Like, there's no way to beat him, but that's not interesting.
That's not interesting, right? But that's what, and again, I think that's what makes. I feel like Caitlin, and this is the argument that you and I had, right? And of course, I think her being white has something to do with her privilege and her marketability.
1,000%.
Absolutely, right? But from my perspective, I can't say that because you're white, everything that you have is now because you're white. Like, of course, there's marketability, there's appeal, and there's endorsements and things like that become because you're white, right? But she actually can also play the game. Like, she's really good at basketball. So it's hard for me to say you're not really good at basketball, you're just white. Like, she actually is really good at the game. And so I think that's where I butt heads with people a lot because I'm not willing to say she's trash. I'm not willing to say that. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I don't think she's trash. Let me ask you this. Moving along, do you feel like, given that there is this aura around her given by the media, they're almost done. given this aura by the media that we're doing our young stars, the Caitlins, the Angels, the Ant Edwardses, a disservice by how we talk about them and market them as though they already are what they're going to be.
I personally don't. I don't think it's a disservice. I think it's just the nature. It's the nature of the way things work. You know what I'm saying? And I also don't think that people. I don't think that like the people who are marketing, like the people who say we're gonna do this commercial and we're gonna talk about her being the greatest of all time, right? I don't think they actually are expecting her to be the greatest of all time, or even think that she's the greatest of all time. But I think it's a way of marketing because it's not appealing to say, "Hey, come check out this average player," or "Come check out this young girl who might be good one day, but she's really, she's still got to prove herself." Like that's not going to bring people to the table. What brings people to the table is he plays just like Michael Jordan. Like he's probably the next Michael Jordan, actually. Or yeah, she's the greatest scorer we've ever seen. Like maybe she's not, but y'all better come check it out. So I don't think it's a disservice because I think it's just part of marketing. It's a part of the way it works.
Yeah, so I agree with you that non-basketball people are giving her these labels and basketball people are carrying them because they're a part of the media and they just have to talk about it. The commercial that you're talking about, we spoke about, and I hate it. And I was hoping you didn't mention it, but you did, because it's going to make me feel like a hater, and people are going to think I'm a hater. And you know what? Maybe I'm a hater, but I think when they said, "What does it take to achieve greatness?" and they're talking about Caitlin Clark, my first thought is, well, she doesn't know, because while she might be great, she hasn't achieved greatness. And in the sports world, the thing that we consider to be achieving greatness is winning the championship, and she don't got one. And so when we say, what does it take to achieve greatness, I'm saying ask Don Staley. Don't ask Caitlin Clark because she doesn't know. Ask Angel Reese. Don't ask Caitlin Clark because she doesn't know. But we're asking the white girl because she's the white girl. And she's given us reason to ask her without feeling like we're being super discriminative, because she's actually pretty good at it. No, she's actually really good at it.
So you're technically wrong when you say she doesn't have any championships. That's technically false. But I
Okay.
take your point.
Okay. High school championships?
Well, you do know that when you win like in the tournament, those are championships, right?
Okay.
She may not win the national championship, but she has won championships. I'm just saying, like, if
Let me ask you a question, Ro. Let me ask you a question, Ro.
you know,
Let me ask you a question. Who's my favorite team?
the Boston Celtics.
Do we hang conference banners in Titletown?
You don't.
Right. So I don't see winning the Elite Eight as a championship.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. But my
It's
point
just a
though,
step.
my point is just that I think for me, this is just my perspective. It's hard for me to say that you're not a great player simply because you lost in the final game or you lost in the final series, right? Like, of course, like when we talk about somebody like Charles Barkley, right? And we say,
Mm-hmm.
of course, Charles Barkley is probably more than likely, not even probably more than likely, he's not considered in the conversation with the people like Michael Jordan or Shaq or, the people who have rings, multiple rings, right? Of course. But for me, that doesn't take away from the fact that Charles Barkley was a great basketball player. Allen Iverson,
Yes.
great basketball player, right?
Yes.
And so I understand you making this delineation between saying like there's a difference between being great and achieving greatness.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, the other reason why I disagree with that is because the percentage of people that actually make it into the NBA, that in and of itself is a major accomplishment. Like
Mm-hmm.
Most people not doing that. There's a small percentage of people who walk the planet who could say I played in the NBA or the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean that's why you've met more baseball players or football players than you have NBA players.
Right. But that's why I can't say you don't know what greatness is simply because you didn't win a championship. Like,
achieving greatness is winning a chip.
I just don't.
I hear you.
I don't think that's the only measure of achieving greatness. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that's the only measure.
I hear you. We don't hang conference banners in Title Town.
Okay, y'all probably won't be hanging
Bro,
here, but
bro, look now. If you don't want to do this podcast no more, just say that.
Hype right now. You got me hype right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's just jump right into it. Let's just go right on into
what a segue, huh? What a segue.
Yeah. So I would love for you, because anybody that watches this is going to know where I'm at. I would love for you and so my friends in the walk and do what they do. Who are you picking and why?
Man. You know, I was all week I've been saying Celtics in 7. I'm gonna stick with the Celtics in 7. Although, man, I think they really got to be afraid of the Mavs, bro. They got to be afraid of the Mavs. But I'm going with the Celtics in 7. I think that particularly if Porzingis can stay healthy, I think they'll have some favorable matchups, particularly on the offensive end. And I think their talent is going to be too much for Luka and Kyrie to overcome. That's what I think. I think Celtics have more firepower and they have more margin for error. That's what I think. I think they have more margin for error than the Mavs do. So they're in right now. My goodness.
Almost done. So I'm getting door locks installed at my studio. So
Oh, real quick. What's the name of your studio?
Yeah. Atlanta Sound Factory.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Continue.
You know, we'll talk more about that at some point. Yeah. So the one thing I heard, the only thing I heard was scared of the Mavs. What? No, absolutely not. We're not scared of no Mavs.
You might not be. I'm not saying you are. I just think you should be very, very concerned. That's all I'm saying.
Aware. I mean, they're a professional basketball team. Sure.
Okay.
They have two of the most skilled basketball players in the history of the planet on their team. Sure. But it's a 5-on-5 game, not a 2-on-2 game.
Yeah, that's why I said they're gonna win.
And I'm gonna say this: if it was 2-on-2, they still get cooked. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the best duo in basketball right now, and I'm gonna stand on it.
Hold on. If it was 2-on-2, you think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown beat Kyrie and Luka?
Yes, and spot them 5 and beat them to 7.
Crazy.
Yeah. I said what I said.
Crazy. What?
I said what I said. They could play a game to 11, spot them 7, and beat them 11-7.
Spot them 7. Wow.
And beat them 11-7.
You're being disrespectful today, bro.
I'm being honest. Okay, it's day 1 of the finals. We're not showing no mercy. If you wear blue and gray, I don't fool with you.
Okay. I tell you what, they better not lose one of these games at home. I tell you that.
Bro, I saw a crazy stat the other day that said they were 17-15 at home in the playoffs in the last 7 years. And that means they're basically a 500 team at home in the playoffs.
Right.
And everybody's talking about it like it's a horrible thing and they can't win at home and this and a third. I'm like, couple of things. One, last time I checked, your success in the playoffs is based on the year that you're in the playoffs right then, right? So we're in the 23-24 playoffs. They've lost 2 games in the playoffs.
Okay.
Right? They're 8-2 in the playoffs. Sure, 2 of those games were home games, right?
Mm-hmm.
The the Mavs are 7-2 on the road, and that's apparently super successful because they've only lost 2 road games.
Yeah.
Well, the Celtics haven't lost a road game, and 17-15 is 32 playoff games. Most teams in the NBA in the last 7 years have not played 32 playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
And they calculated 32 home playoff games for the Celtics in the last 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
But understandably so, that's not achieving greatness because we didn't win a chip. But we're not going to act like the Celtics are just a pushover team and they can't win at home. But you're right, though, Ro. If they lose a game at home, everybody's going to say they can't win at home. And then when they win the championship, whether it's home or away, everybody's going to have to shut up for at least an hour because I'm not hearing nothing they got to say.
So I think this is one of those things. And as this show continues, everybody's going to see that Jeremiah is going to be more numbers and stats and let me look this up and let me find out who's averaging this and who's averaging that. And I'm going to be more the eye test, if you will. I'm going to be more.
Be fair. Let's explain that, though, Ro. You played.
I played.
You played basketball, and you played at a. You could have played at a high level.
I could have.
Right.
And my brother plays in the NBA.
Your brother's in the NBA. Like you're of that. Your dad was a very successful basketball player.
Yeah.
Like you come from the pedigree of being an athlete. Me, I'm 6'4", but I was never really that good. So I think the understanding there, you're the basketball player. I'm the basketball guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a difference. Not saying that you're not also a basketball guy, but like
I understand what you're saying. I understand.
You know more of the nuance, and I'm looking at the game, like from the stats, the lines, a little bit of the eye test. But I've never been out there, so I don't know what that feels like for real.
And I feel that. So this is what I would say though. I would say I'm not worried about like. So when I look at a team like the Mavs, right, and I say the reason why you can't win, the reason why they can't win a game, or the reason why the Celtics can't let them take a game on their home court is because the Mavs are that team that you don't want to have any confidence. Like you don't want them to feel like they have like any space to like, beat you, right? So it's like, look, I think they got to win. Boston has to win these first 2 games to just set the stage, right? Because if you lose one of these games, if you lose game 1,
come on now, bro.
If you lose game 1, okay, they gonna feel real good. They gonna feel real good going into game 3. Whether the Mavs win or lose game 2, they gonna feel real good. And you don't want Kyrie feeling real good. You don't want Luka feeling real good. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you.
So let me ask you, do you remember the last time Boston saw Kyrie in the playoffs?
Boston saw Kyrie in the playoffs? When he was with the Nets, right? Yeah. They crushed it.
I want to be like, bro, if y'all want to be on the pod, just say something. Like,
right.
You ain't got to just come on in, bro, if you want to talk. So the last time Boston saw Kyrie in the playoffs with the Nets, Kyrie came out game 1 and scored 39 points. Had an amazing outing. He had, dare I say, a better running mate than he has now.
I don't know.
Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's not a better running mate than Luka?
Is he a better player? Is he a better running mate? Those are 2 different questions.
Who's a better player, Kevin Durant or Luka Doncic?
Right now?
No. Not right now. You got to go 2 years back.
Okay. I'll say KD was a better player.
2 years ago, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he was a better running mate though, but yeah, go ahead.
Man, come on. Anyway,
what you mean?
Have okay. You have Kyrie.
Hold on.
you said it. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So you have Kyrie and you have KD. James Harden was there too, right?
Yes.
I think what's your boy name? Jarrett Allen was there,
Okay.
right? I think
Yeah.
Nick Claxton might have been there
He
too.
was there, yeah.
Who was the white boy that was hitting him with the three? He was there. Joe.
Joe. Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Joe, he was there,
No.
right?
White boy.
They had a squad. Yeah, white boy Joe, white man Joe was there.
Yeah.
They had a little squad.
Yeah.
Kyrie dropped 39. They got beat the buzzer. Tatum with the little spin layup, boom. They got beat at the buzzer. Cool. They stole one, right?
That went. Yeah.
They stole one. Game 2, Kyrie scored 18. We beat him. Game 3, Kyrie scored 12. We beat him. Game 4, Kyrie scored 19. Swept him. And he was all about, I love the hate, embrace the hate. People doing woo, 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 I'm ready, woo, and all that type of deal. Talking to rah-rah. Got swept.
Yeah. But
I'm not worried about giving Kyrie hope.
But they won though, right?
Yeah, we swept them.
That's all I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. If
Go
Kyrie
ahead.
had 39 and y'all lost game 1, that would have been a long series for y'all.
Bro, if you dropped 40 and got beat, how would you feel?
I would feel bad.
Right. Because it don't matter what you do, you can't win.
Right. But did you hear what I said? Did you hear?
No, I hear what you said. What I'm saying is they're not gonna get a game at home. They're not,
okay.
Bro. I'm so listen, the fan in me wants to say they can't get a game, but I know that it's the NBA and I know that they're still 2 stars. They'll get one game in this whole series. It's gonna be the Celtics in 5.
Oh!
And here's the back half of why I say that.
That boy
March 1st of 2024, the Dallas Mavericks played the Boston Celtics. Do you know how well Luka did in that game?
How well?
I'm going to tell you exactly how well he did. So that way,
let me know. Give me the numbers.
People don't think I'm bugging. See, we got, y'all gotta forgive us because our budget is not I mean, we don't have producer. We gotta, what I'm saying, we gotta look it up.
We on the way.
You know what I'm saying? Give us a week. We'll get there. Okay, here we go. Looking at Luka. The man had 37 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists in 37 minutes of basketball play. Talk about running mates. Kyrie Irving had 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in 37 minutes of play. Tim Hardaway off the bench had 10 points in 20 minutes. He also had 5 rebounds. PJ Washington had 17 points and 7 rebounds. Derek Lively had 15 points and 4 rebounds. Right? That's a crazy game.
Yeah.
They scored 110 points.
Yeah.
They got beat by 28.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter. Luka, the walking triple-double, 6'8" sloth that shoots from half court. Drains them. Can't miss. Went crazy. They were 44 for 94. They hit 46% of their field goals. They only shot 26% from 3 because our defense is crazy. They can't beat us. And scored 138 points. If your team puts up 138 points, would you think that somebody on the stat line on the box score went crazy?
What you mean?
Like if you saw a score was like, oh, the Boston Celtics put up 138, you'd look to see who went off, right? That's crazy that you pinned that comment. That's crazy that you pinned that comment.
But see,
assume I'm a Celtics fan. You don't got to assume, my boy. I'm gonna let you know.
This is Keyman. This is what I was just telling him. What you're saying, bro, is first of all, I don't think you're taking into account the differences in regular season basketball and playoff basketball.
No, I am for sure taking that into account.
Right. So again, we talked about this before. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm the Mavs, we not playing a game that's going to be super fast where you're going to get 138 points. That's not happening.
Right, but the Celtics are a slow team too.
Right. But again, what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. If I can keep it, if I'm the Mavs, if I'm Jason Kidd, I say, look, this is what we doing. We're going to keep this game to within 5 points. And we get down to crunch time, I trust the Mavs more than I trust the Celtics.
Okay, I'm glad you said that lie. Let's talk about that. How many players?
I trust them more.
It's not true, bro. You think you do, but you don't. You think you do, but you don't. Let me explain. And Kimon, ready for what Kyrie about to do. Okay, here we go. Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving are amazing closers. They have two closers. Would you agree that the Mavs have two closers on their team?
Yes.
Okay. I'm ignoring that.
Oh.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. No, it is not in their DNA.
I think the drill agrees.
It's not in their DNA. See, I'm about to. Whew, okay, listen. Make sure I took my blood pressure medicine this morning. Okay, so the first off, no, it's not in their DNA. They've had to grow. They've had to grow. They had to get there. When you were 23, 24 years old, you got close to achieving goals and fell short, learned from them, and then got back. Okay. It takes time to get where you're trying to go.
Okay.
It takes time to get where you're trying to go.
Life lessons, Jeremiah. Ain't nobody asking for no life lessons, bro.
Listen, I don't care. They're there. Okay? We have to choose between Brown and Tatum. No, we don't. And his name's Tatum. I can't take you seriously because his name is Tatum. Anyway, the Mavs have two closers on their team. How many players on the Boston Celtics can drop 30 on any given time, on any given night?
3 or 4.
Name them off.
Maybe 5.
You got Tatum. You got Jaylen Brown. You got Kristaps Porzingis. Drew Holiday. Let's not forget what he did in the championship 3 years ago against Devin Bummer and the Suns. And then Derek White in this playoffs has dropped 38. Last series, Jaylen Brown hits a buzzer beater game-tying three-pointer. Derek White hit the game-winning three-pointer for game 4. Drew Holiday hit the layup in the and one for game 3. Like it's a team game. Kyrie and Luka can get, they can get the 61, 51 and a half points, whatever that they're averaging right now. Right. They've got to stop everybody else.
But it is a team game though. But let me tell you, for me, it's less about the players and the matchup, and it's more about Jason Kidd versus Mazzulla. And I think Jason Kidd, like you said, it's a team game. I think Jason Kidd can implement a strategy that's going to make it extremely tough on Mazzulla and the Celtics. Kimon, you're not interrupting, man.
Not at all. That's you post
the conversation. We love the feedback, if you will.
Feedback, yes, the banter. It's great.
No, it's all love. Appreciate you, brother, for sure. But I think there's a strategy that can be put in place where, yes, it's 5-on-5, but we purposely run this strategy to make this game 2-on-2, or to make this game 3-on-2, 2-on-1.
Yeah. I think one thing that gives the Celtics an advantage in that assumed strategy is we're bigger than they are. We have more experience than they are. Our scorers are great defenders, and our defenders are great scorers, right? Kyrie, like we have to understand that Kyrie's going to have to defend somebody at some point, right? Who's his defensive assignment?
Derek
A
White,
guy that can drop 30.
okay, bro. Okay.
No, but understand me though, right?
He can drop 30, but I don't think you go into it like no. Here's the thing: if Derek White drops 30, that's the strategy we want.
Okay, so
Like
let's say Derek White doesn't.
if anybody on this team is getting 30, we're gonna let Derek get 30 before we let them other guys get 30.
Right, but when the game Derek dropped 30, we won by 24.
Right, but again, what I'm saying
You're
is,
right, Kimon. My fandom is talking. Celtics in 5.
what I'm saying to you is that because the game slows down, you're not going to have all these shots for him to get 30, him to get 30, him to get 30, him to get 40.
No, not at all. And I think that's the problem with the Mavs, right? Is in order for them to beat us, Kyrie and Luka aren't going to get 60 and still have time for the other guys to get what they need to win. Because Kyrie can get 30, Luka can get 37, and that's 67 points, right? But what they're giving up on the other end is going to almost cancel that out. And then what they're going to have to do on the offensive end is they're going to have to get PJ Washington and Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford involved. Are you taking Daniel Gafford over Kristaps Porzingis?
See, but again, bro, if you just saying just player for player, right? Like we say,
no, in the system,
role in the system,
yeah, as a role player, because Kristaps would be considered our first role player.
What they had Porzingis and it didn't work out.
Okay, what's that mean?
So
I'm talking about in our system. You got the system of the Celtics with Kristaps Porzingis playing his role in the Celtics system, and Daniel Gafford playing his role in the Mavs system.
Right.
Who's more successful? Kristaps is back. Yes. 24 points, 3 blocks, 8 rebounds.
But what I'm saying, the point I'm making though, the point I'm just making is that we can have all these conversations about the stats, and we can have this conversation about the point, and we can have look, all that stuff has its place, and I agree with those things. But my point is, I think when you take into account the leadership and the will of Luka and Kyrie, and the strategy that J Kidd is going to employ, again, I personally, I think the Celtics win in 7. Okay.
How long has Kyrie been a leader?
I don't understand what that has to do with what we talk.
Because you said you take into account the leadership.
Look at what he's done. Look at what he's done.
What has he done?
Have you not heard what his teammates have been saying?
Yeah, for the last couple of weeks.
That's what I'm. That's
but have you not? But have you heard what his teammates have said since 2014?
Okay, what I'm saying to you though is, bro, they're in the finals, so you can't just say, "Well, he wasn't a leader 3 years ago, so he ain't no leader now."
But I think to that point, the Celtics leadership is way better.
Bro, I'm not arguing that they not leadership. What I'm saying is that I think you said they win in 5. And I'm saying I think Luka and Kyrie's leadership and their ability to play and the strategy that J Kidd has is going to have them making this a real series for the Celtics. And if the Celtics don't show up the way that they're supposed to, they could lose this series. That's what I'm saying. And like I said before, I think the Celtics have a larger margin for error, right? Because of everything that you're saying. But they if they mess up, if they slip up, I think Kyrie and Luka are the type to capitalize on it.
If they make 17 mistakes in one game, they could lose by 3.
Yeah.
If the Mavs make one mistake, they could lose 2 games at the same time.
I agree.
It could very easily be Celtics in.
Hey, Kimon, I don't know if you saw this, but I said they better not let that happen. If the Mavs win game 1,
then the Celtics win the next 4.
Brother, if the Mavs win game 1, it's gonna be a long series. If they win game 1, you don't agree?
I would say this: if the Mavs win 2 of the next 3 games, I would agree with you,
bro. But that's why I'm saying if they win game 1,
they got to win 2 though. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
what I'm telling you is that if they win game 1,
I don't think it's a concern.
and they lose game 2, they're gonna go into game 3 feeling good.
And we haven't lost a game on the road yet.
Okay. All right. I think you're really speaking from your fanhood, from your fanship.
I'm not gonna deny that.
That's fine. I think I agree with Kimon here. You're delusional.
Might be.
But hey,
I will say, yeah, I'll say this couple things. And then we got a couple other questions I want to ask you. One, I am a delusional fan. I have a deal worked out with my tattoo artist friend already that if we win the championship, we have a design for a banner that I'm going to get tattooed on my leg. So yes, that's where I'm at.
Wow.
Two, I think that now, granted, these teams are not as good as Dallas, right? The teams I'm about to mention, Miami won game 2. They went back home, hyped up, thinking they had it. Got beat, right? That's hilarious. We got to have Kimon on the actual show one day.
We got to. Kimon, he actually has a podcast, and he goes live all the time. So
that's awesome. This is my first time, Kimon. Yeah. So don't go easy on me though. Clearly, then the Cavs beat us in game 2. And they went back home thinking they had it, and we dog walked them. Right? What I'm saying is the team that you see with Boston this year is not the Celtics of the past. They've figured out how to stick with it. They've figured out how to chip away leads. They figured out how to not blow leads. They figured out how to win games in the clutch. They've understood that the way they win games in the clutch is that the best player in the best position takes the shot and wins the game, instead of trying to force a guy to be a guy. Right? And maybe that feels weird, but it's like you've got a superstar player in Jason Tatum. And in history, we've seen the superstar wants the ball. He makes a shot. He wins the game. Right? And I think what we see now with the Celtics is none of them care about being the person to take the shot. They want the best percentage shot, and they want to win the game. And however that happens, they're cool. To the point where I'm saying this, I don't even mind if we win the championship and Jason Tatum doesn't get MVP. Because I care more about getting the ring than I care about him.
Yeah.
So now, with that being said, who do you feel like needs to win? As a player, not team, right?
Oh, we already know. I mean, that's too easy.
As a player, who needs this ring more? Is it? Let me set the stage.
Jason Tatum.
Let me set the stage. Let me set the stage. Is it Luka Doncic, a guy who has been in the top 3 MVP voting for the last 4 years and has never been able to get over the hump, right? A guy who averages nearly a triple-double on the season, who's currently sitting as the scoring champion, who's almost been to the finals once before and has finally made it this time. 25 years old, been a professional basketball player for 11 years, right? Has been playing against NBA players since he was 16 and beating them, by the way. Or Kyrie Irving, a guy who has been to the mountaintop and then seemingly, according to how the world would see it, threw himself off of the mountaintop to prove that the world was flat and said a bunch of things that people feel like are crazy. We don't got to get into those because, our opinions, it's going to end up in a whole nother tangent and people might not like us anymore. Right. And now he's working on proving that you can't write people off too soon because we're all young and this is just a part of our journey. Because now he's seemingly become a leader, seemingly become more humble, become more understanding of how to work together with people. And now he's 4 games away from a second title where he would essentially be considered the leader of the team, even though he's the second best player. Or is it Jason Tatum, a guy who carried his team to the conference finals in a game 7 against LeBron James in his rookie year, has been to 5 conference finals and 2 NBA finals, and has not been able to get over the hump, albeit due to injury last time he was in the finals. Who needs to win more?
Y'all. So for all the reasons that you just said is why Tatum has to win more. So when I look at somebody like Luka, right? So Kyrie has a ring. Okay. So
At the end of the day,
that in and of itself means he not it, right? When I look at somebody like Luka and I say, okay, Luka, this is the farthest that he's been in the playoffs, right?
mm-hmm.
And he's 25. So they lose, it's not gonna be, oh, like he's gotta win next year, or he's gotta, why didn't he win? Like it's not gonna be all those things, right? And I think this is why they've said, I think I heard LeBron say this, like Tatum is a victim of success.
Yes.
All those things that you said, right? All those numbers, just all the conference finals they've been to, all the times when they win against LeBron, right? All the they've had one finals appearance.
This is second, yeah.
Yeah. So this is their second, right? So those right there is why it's imperative. It's imperative for Jason Tatum to win, because if they don't win this year, then what Keyman has been saying, like, oh, they're gonna have to break this up. They're gonna have to, whatever. Is Tatum really that good? Is this, that, like all that conversation is gonna start. If Tatum wants to get that off his back, he's got to win this year.
Okay, so let me
also I will add, I'm sorry.
Nope. Go ahead.
The other thing I will add is I think JB got to win this year. They give you that $300 million. You gotta get that. You gotta earn that. You gotta earn that.
I want to say something about JB in a second. To respond to that, I agree with you. I do think Tatum is the guy that has to get the chip this year. I don't think he's got to get the finals MVP or whatever. I think he's always going to be nitpicked and picked on and looked at like it's not enough, because I think 2 days after they win the chip, it's going to be, can they do it again? And then the conversation will be, they absolutely can't do it again because the stars aligned for them to do it the first time. And so they're going to be the guys who win a ring and then immediately get talked about like they can't win a ring until they win a ring. And if they don't win another ring next year, people are going to say, how would they have done last year if everybody was healthy? Right? Like, as a Celtics fan, I already understand what the world is going to be like over the next 2 years for us, even if we win this ring.
Yeah.
So yes, Jason has to get this one. This is a question that I will ask to you.
I like everything that Keyman has said today. I don't agree with this though.
This one is not true.
I don't think they should have broken them up, because they're in the final. Like,
let me ask this question: how do you get better? Who is better? Who do you trade?
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown to, like, these guys are so good, like unequivocally. These guys are so good that if you break them up, you're admitting to a failure and a rebuild.
Well, I don't know if you.
Who do you get?
I don't know if you're admitting to a rebuild, but I do agree that I don't think that you can make a trade and bring somebody in that makes you better.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you trade JP,
but I think real quick, I think what they did was the breakup that they needed in terms of getting rid of Smart. Yep. I like Smart. I think
letting Grant Williams go.
I think Smart was great, but I always said they need a real point guard.
Yep.
And so getting Drew Holiday in there, Derek White as well. To me, I feel like Derek White is a little bit more of the point guard than Drew is sometimes. But I think having those guys actually running the offense, to me, made them better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think you can move. Tatum or Jaylen Brown and get that same amount of scoring and star power that you have for those guys. You know what I'm saying?
I think you move Brown and you get a whole bunch of picks, which essentially says you're setting up to build, right? Whether you go into a full-blown blow-up and rebuild, like I think the moves we made was the breakup, like you said, the breakup you need. You get rid of Smart, that hurts, but let's be honest, right? Well, as great as he was also a bonehead sometimes. You bring in Drew Holiday, who is a less exciting but more controlled and more mature version of Marcus Smart, right? And then you've let Derek White grow, and now you realize, hey, that was the best trade we've gotten. Like, that was the best GM move in a decade, probably, believing in Derek White, bringing him over. a lot of people don't realize we got Derek White for a bag of potato chips and 3 half-eaten chicken wings from KFC. Like, you know what I mean? And then think about what we got Drew Holiday for. Yeah. We got Drew Holiday from Malcolm Brogdon and Robert Williams III, both of whom got injured this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, bro, how much lint you got in your pocket? Put 2 quarters with it, we'll take Drew Holiday.
Right.
So we've made the moves to be the team that everybody hates that we are.
Yeah.
That's, you know what I'm saying? That's just a thing. So Danny says Mavs in 7. I just now saw this. I hate that for you. It's not going to happen. This is the question I wanted to ask you. If we say Luka, if Luka loses this year, what you said was, okay, it's the farthest he's ever gotten. Cool. He did well. Boom, boom, boom. First time Tatum went to the finals with a broken wrist and lost in 6 to the dynasty, right? Everybody said he choked. Everybody said he was trash. Everybody said he'll never win. So why are we not saying if Luka doesn't win, we're going to give him that same type of flack?
And again, I think this boils down to the amount of success that Tatum has had. All those conference finals, the finals appearance, like Luka hasn't had that.
Because he's not as good.
Okay, that's fair. We're not having that conversation. We're not talking about who's better between them. What we're talking about is who needs this more.
And it was 2 years ago. Come on, I'm listening, bro.
The first time that Luka has gotten this far, if he loses, I'm sure there'll be conversation, but it's not going to be the same type of conversation that they're going to have about Tatum. And like you said, even if they win, there's probably still going to be conversation about can they repeat, can they do this, then the third, whatever. But see, I think like you get annoyed with that. I think that's just a testament to how good you are, because you don't have these conversations if there's not an expectation for you to be at a certain level. And because they're expected to be at a certain level, when they fail, it makes them look even worse.
So you would agree that failure for Dallas doesn't look as bad as failure for Boston because Boston is the better team with the higher expectations?
I think they should win in 7.
Because they're the better team.
Matter of fact, I'll say this. On paper, I think they should win sooner.
On paper, they should win in 3.
Oh, my God. This guy right here, yo.
Like, on paper, they win in 3.
On paper, I think that they should win in a gentleman's sweep on paper. But in theory, in practice, when the ball is thrown into the air,
they'll win in 3.
And Kyrie, I really think that they are dogs.
I agree, man.
I really think that they are dog. I think Gafford is a dog. I think Lively is a dog. I think PJ Washington is a dog. I just don't know if the Celtics are dogs, bro. That's what it boils down to me.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I love that,
bro. Do they have an art? I don't know if they do, bro.
I love that. So, you know, for a lot of people don't know a little backstory on me and Ro. We started out being friends through making music, right? And one of the things that I always loved about Ro was that while he might not have necessarily been the most lyrical or whatever type of rapper that you think, he was never going to be the worst rapper. Like, you were never going to be better than him. You were never going to have a better verse than him. He was going to write the best verse you've heard that day. And I think that was the thing that I always liked about you, because you had that dog in you as an artist, right? It was like you looked at creating music in a way, it seemed like as a form of competition almost too, right? Like, while you appreciated everybody's art, you were going to be the best guy in the booth that day, right?
Yeah.
And I think I appreciate the fact that you're looking for the dog in somebody. This is what I will say. I think Luka is a dog. Absolute dog. I think it shows. I think he doesn't care. And I think he's one of those guys that he's a Paul Pierce level dog. Like, he can back up everything he says. There was a moment in the finals when the Celtics won the championship in 2008 where KG looks at
I'm sorry to cut you off. Keyman got something personal. He got something personal against the Celtics.
I don't know what. Keyman's a Lakers fan, probably.
I don't know what this beef is, but
Keyman, I want to know who your team is, because that's going to tell us a lot.
Who's your favorite team? He a Pelicans fan.
A lifelong Pelicans fan?
Yeah, I think he live in New Orleans.
Wow.
Louisiana, somewhere in there. I think. I could be wrong. Let me know, Keemy. Let me know if I'm tripping.
Okay. So he not even from a basketball city. Anyway, I think when you look at with what KG said one day, they're in the huddle, they're losing the game. They're not down by a whole lot, but they're losing the game. Coastal Mississippi. Okay, that makes sense. And then when you look, he looks at Paul Pierce. He says, "P, I ain't got it like that today, man. I don't got it like that. You're gonna have to take us home." And Paul Pierce looked at him and said, "All right, Tick, I got you." And then he won him the game.
Yeah.
Right? That's the level of dog that I think Luka has, right? Like at any point when you tell me you need me to win the game, okay, cool, I'm gonna go get it. What I think is, though, when you run into an unstoppable force, like a team that hear what I'm saying. A team that doesn't necessarily have to have the individual dogs, but each piece creates the big transformer. What's the thing? The Zord, you know, the
yeah, I know,
yeah. I think every cog of the Celtics creates the Mastiff, the English Mastiff.
That's why. This is why I say y'all should be afraid. This is why I say y'all should be afraid, because when you get in the playoffs, all that Transformers and robot meets the eye and all, don't none of that matter when it's 10 seconds left on the clock and we need a bucket.
I hear
Can't
you.
nobody save you. Nobody save you.
Except with 8 seconds left on the clock, we needed a bucket and JB got us one. And then we went to overtime and Tatum took us home. When it was 43 seconds on the clock and we needed a bucket, Derek White got us.
What you're saying is you don't believe that they dogs either. And like
I do believe the dogs.
And like like Kimon said, bro, you think they're gonna win in 7? Dogs win in 7. And you know what? That's why I say they should be scared. Because if they gotta go a game 7 against Luka and Kyrie, bro. I tell you what, Jeremiah, they better win in 5.
Let me ask you this.
They better win in 5.
That's you. I see you. This is what I would ask you. Has Jason Tatum ever been in a game 7?
Yeah.
Has he ever won a game 7?
Sure.
Who holds the record for most points in a game 7?
I believe it's Tatum.
It's Jason Christopher Tatum.
Yeah.
51.
Yeah.
Hung that on the MVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Year prior, in a game 6, they had to win. They were going up against Giannis. That was the year Giannis was the most unstoppable basketball player in the NBA.
Yeah.
He probably should have won the MVP over Jokic that year. He dropped 44 and 20 in game 6 in Milwaukee to win that series and close it out.
What, Jeremiah? You know what, brother?
How many points did Tatum score?
I just hope now I'm rooting for the Mavs because now I just want to be able to replay this when they lose and be like, dang, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that would be. It won't happen.
Dang, that's crazy.
So to what I was saying, in game 6 when they had to win, dogs win in closeout games on the road. Tatum dropped 46. He had a broken wrist in the finals.
Ooh. Hey.
He doesn't know basketball. Dyron doesn't know basketball.
Oh, okay.
That's all that is. He doesn't know basketball. Keemon's from Mississippi and Dyron doesn't know basketball. Let me stop before I get shot. No, I agree. I do think we have dogs. I think Jaylen Brown is a dog. Jaylen Brown said something in his finals presser when they were doing all the media availability. And if you're a sensitive person, forgive what I'm about to say. This is what he said. He said, "I'm at the point in my life now where I feel like I'm never going to get the respect that I've earned, and I honestly don't give a fuck. And if you're not with me," he said, "the people who are with me, let's rock and roll. And if you're not, you can kiss my ass." I think Jaylen Brown needed to get to that point to really be the dog that he's supposed to be. That's one. There's a height requirement to fight me. 2, he's like 5'3", bro. I would feel really bad.
We can't disrespect Dyron. Come on.
It would be disrespectful for me to fight somebody a foot shorter than me, bro. Come on. Secondly, I'm not from Boston. We'll talk about not from Boston.
No, we can't talk about where he really from.
Boy, our show will get sidetracked. So tune into the next episode and we'll tell you where I'm from.
Right.
So I think Jason is a dog, but I don't think he barks the way that we're used to dogs barking. I'm just being honest.
I don't like these statements you be making, bro.
Jason gets buckets, bro.
If it don't sound like a dog,
I hear you.
It's not a dog.
I hear you.
It's not a dog.
I hear what you're saying. But if it bites and it hurts.
Okay. Again, bro.
Tatum closed out game 1 against Indiana. Jaylen Brown got us to the overtime. Tatum scored 10 points in overtime. We won the game. And Tatum dropped 51. He had 16 in the fourth against Philly in a closeout game. He has, what I'm saying is the game 7 statement, right? The closeout game wins. Tatum has more than anybody currently in the finals right now. Well, Tatum and Brown have won more of those than anybody left in the finals.
Okay, let me tell you what this conversation is like. Let me tell you what this conversation is like talking about the Dallas Cowboys. That's what this conversation is like. Because the Dallas Cowboys can have a great regular season, right? They can look great. And then something happens, they get into these playoff games, and it's like a whole different team is out there, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the concern about the Boston Celtics. I don't think anybody questions how good Tatum is or how good Brown. Well, we might question how good his left hand is, but we can say, look,
76% efficiency from closing with his left hand in the 2024 season.
All right. Okay. So we could say Jaylen Brown is we know they can play the game, right? We know they have a great team. They had a great season. The question is just when you get to these moments, do we trust you? And I think you're saying overwhelmingly, I trust them. And all I'm saying is, I just don't know. And like Kimon says right here, Kyrie and Luka not barking, they sneak up on you in lockjaw. That's really what it's like. Like I have no doubt that when the game is on the line, look at how Luka responded in that game, the last game they played the Minnesota Timberwolves. Luka came out and he came out there like, yo,
I'm whooping their ass.
We sending these boys home.
Facts. They're not as good as me.
Over.
Yeah.
It's done. You're not giving no shoes to nobody. You're not going to see nobody.
You're not dapping up before the game.
It's a wrap.
Yep.
And I just don't know. I just don't know if the Celtics have that. And if they lose game 1, I'm really going to be questioning if they have that.
I hear you. I think that that's not an unfair thought given the conversation that's been surrounding the Celtics. I would say a couple of things. One, we're nothing like the Dallas Cowboys because the Dallas Cowboys can't win playoff games. We've been to 5 Eastern Conference Finals. The Dallas Cowboys have not been to a championship game since we started taking football seriously. You know what I mean? So that's a difference. I think when you look at the Mavs versus the Timberwolves matchup, I'm not going to lie to you. While I love the Mavs, while I love Anthony Edwards and how great of a player he is.
Oh, you mean the Timberwolves? You love the Timberwolves.
The Timberwolves, yeah. While I love the Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards and how great of a player he is. Don't do that. While they are good, ask Dyron if I'm a betting man. While I love the Timberwolves, I love Anthony Edwards. They were not as good as it looked like they were. They got lucky and they beat Denver because Jamal Murray failed.
Bro,
I'm just being honest. Jamal Murray failed. They beat Denver. They were not as good. Okay, that's just the reality.
They were not as good as Denver.
No, they were not as good as Denver. They got them, but they weren't as good, and they weren't as good as the Mavericks, right? And the Mavericks had a game plan that made their players look like they were a lot better than they are, minus Kyrie and Luka. They are who we say they are, right? PJ Washington is not a superstar. Derek Lively is a rookie. Daniel Gafford is not a great big man. He's not. He's not an Al Horford. He's not a Kristaps Porzingis.
But they don't have to be to win.
No, but they do have to be to win these games.
No, they don't.
To beat the Celtics, they have to be.
No, they don't. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. The reason why they don't is because it's not just okay, you go win your matchup. That's not how basketball works anymore. Right. So it's like we're gonna put y'all in screen and rolls, we're gonna do all kinds of things where all PJ got to do is catch and shoot.
How many does PJ have to get?
I think he got to average at least 15.
He got to average 15. How many does Gafford have to get?
I mean, he probably got to catch 5 or 6 lobs. So
12,
15.
He got to get 10 rebounds.
Yeah, sure.
He got to get 10 rebounds. How many does Lively got to get?
Same.
So they both got to get 20 rebounds between the two of them.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
How many does Derek Jones have to get?
He catch and shoot. I don't think he don't have to.
He's coming off the bench.
You know what I'm saying? Get a couple layups.
He got to play good defense.
Okay.
How many Kyrie got to get?
20, 25, 30.
How many Luka got to get?
20, 25, 30.
Okay, that's not enough.
Okay, we're gonna see.
Here's why I say that. The reason how many do you feel like Kyrie is gonna get?
In game 1?
Yeah, like just in general, how many you think he's gonna do?
I think he could do as many as he wants.
But how many you feel like he's gonna get realistically?
Okay,
we're gonna put a number on that.
Game 1, I think he gets 30.
How many you think Luka get?
I think he gets 35.
I don't think Luka ever gets below 32 points in this whole series.
Okay.
Right? Okay. I think Kyrie's going to hang between 23 and 28 points.
Okay.
How many you think Lively going to get today?
15.
How many you think Washington going to get?
Oh, he might have a good game, bro. I'm going to say 20.
Okay. And how many you think Gafford going to get?
I say 15.
Okay. So you just gave me 105 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question. How many is Tatum going to get?
25.
That's okay.
Okay, 30.
27.
Okay.
How many is Brown going to get?
30.
How many is Derek White going to get?
I'll give him 20.
How many is Drew Holiday going to get?
15.
How many is Peyton Pritchard going to get?
10.
How many is Al Horford going to get?
10.
How many is Kristaps Porzingis going to get?
Assuming he plays, I'll give him.
He does play.
Assuming he plays, I mean, I know he's listed to play. I know he'll probably get on the floor, but we don't know.
You mean assuming he balls?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say 15.
We just beat you by 10.
Okay, but here's the point that I'm making though is that all of that sounds great on paper, Jeremiah. All of that's great on paper. But once the ball goes into the air and we on the court, or they're on the court, what we just did is pointless.
It's got to happen.
Because now y'all got to do it. And the question is, do we trust them to do it? And I trust Luka and Kyrie to do it when we need it more than I trust Jason, JB, and all them other guys you named.
KP, Derek White.
And I'm okay with being wrong. Y'all got to show me. Again, okay. I'm picking the Celtics in 7. That's what I'm doing.
Sound like you're switching your pick.
I'm gonna be rooting for the Mavs. I would be cheering for the Mavs, but I don't think that they're gonna have enough. I don't think they're gonna have enough to beat the Celtics. But because again, like I like what you did when you went down the list. They have a much more deeper. They have more weapons at their disposal, right?
Because I didn't even get into Sam Hauser. I didn't even talk about Luke Cornett, Xavier Tillman.
You didn't. But to quote Stephen A, right? These big games, hands get sweaty, backsides get tight.
Because Stephen A knows all about big
Are
game.
people gonna show up? That's all I'm saying. Are people gonna show up? That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think it's an unfair question. The only player on my team
It's
that
an
I have,
unfair question.
the reason why I say that, because the only person that I have on the Celtics that I would have a question for about their ability to show up is Kristaps because of injury, right? He's got to stay healthy. He's never played outside of April, right? Because he's never made it out the first round.
I can't wait for this recap show. When we doing the recap show? We doing it tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
So definitely think Kristaps has to stay healthy. I have questions about him if I'm being a fan, right? Honestly, he's got to stay healthy. And then Jaylen Brown. And the reason why I'm questioning Jaylen Brown is because last year in Game 7, when Tatum went down with the first play with an ankle injury, it was JB's time to step up. The reason why you have a 1A and a 1-2 is so, or 1A and a 1B is because when your 1A goes down, the 1B becomes a 1A. Jaylen turned the ball over 7 times. He got nervous. The moment was too small, and he lost us the game, right? Jason Tatum has never done that. When he's lost us the game, when he seemed small, it's because of injury. He had a broken wrist. He rolled his ankle. I do not believe that we've seen a moment where Jason Tatum has choked. So that's not a thing. The he ready to go. That's amazing. When should we do it, Ro? Let's say that right quick. It'll be a Friday morning.
It'll be.
I think we should do 12:30.
Yeah, we could do 12:30. We could do I'm down with that. 12:30.
Yeah, cool. Let's try 12:30. I think, and we will let you know, Kimon. We'll make sure we let you know. I got you. And so I think the thing that I say, I'm not worried about them showing up, because the only two players that I'm worried about, one, I don't think I'm worried about KP, but we have a really good backup when KP can't make it, and that's Al Horford. Al Horford hit 7 threes the other night and hit 6 the other night before that, right? He's a dog. If y'all don't think Al Horford's a dog, y'all don't watch basketball. The man's older than dirt. Like, I'll say this. We would be considered old in basketball years, and Al's older than us.
Yeah. No, look. I think Al Horford, I agree. I mean, he's tough. He a dog. He that guy. But the problem, though, is that you need some of these you need to make sure that JB is a dog, and you need to make sure Tatum is a dog. When it gets down to the end of the game, because again, that's how I think about it. I don't just think about it as, yeah, he's a dog and he plays hard. What I think about it as, he's a dog because when we need it, he's not going to disappear on us.
Yeah.
He's not going to get, start passing the ball and doing, like, perfect example, Anthony Edwards. I still think he's a dog, but those last like 2 or 3 games, I'm like, bro, if you pass the ball one more time, bro, you get 2 feet in the paint and you pass the ball again, we're going to have a problem. Like, what are you doing, bro? What you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, we need you to shoot the basketball.
He was 6 for 24 in Game 7.
Huh?
6 for 24 in Game 7.
So my thing is, at least, but see, again, I'm not mad at that because you shot 24 shots.
Right.
Shoot the ball. You know what I'm saying? So when I look at somebody like Jason Tatum, I look at JB and I say, look, there's going to be moments in this series where we're going to need you to be a dog. We be a dog the first 45 minutes, but cool. We need you to be a dog those last 3 minutes because Kyrie and Luka going to be dogs. Kyrie and Luka going to be dogs when it's time. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't trust the Celtics. I just don't trust these guys. And they got to show me. That's it. They just got to show me, bro. That's it. They just got to show me.
Yeah, no, bro. Listen, I hear you. I don't disagree.
Yo.
That's crazy.
When did Kimon become a Dallas fan, though? I'm going to have to talk to him about this, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He must be a Kyrie fan. He must be a Kyrie fan.
No, he's just a Celtics hater.
Okay. So we got our predictions. I'm saying Celtics in 7. You saying Celtics in 5. Would you like to abridge that at all?
No, Celtics in 5.
Okay. And I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna say the Celtics win Game 1. Of course, you're going Celtics Game 1.
So Vegas is with you on that. just so we know, we're not big bettors. I think, Ro, you said you don't really gamble at all. I don't do much gambling. I just every now and then put a prize picks in or whatever. Just so we know, right now the NBA, Vegas has the Celtics at -210 as the favorites. For the series, they are a -230 favorite for the game tonight, and they've got the money line set at 6.5. The point spread is set at 6.5, so they've got Boston by 6.5 points today. So, I don't really know a lot of what that means. I believe that means that they believe Celtics are going to win by 6.5 points before it's zeroed out. They also don't have it at a very high scoring game. They only have it at 215.5 points. The last time these guys saw each other,
wow. But that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
They scored 248 points last time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that also means that, so in that 248 point game, I would be remiss if I didn't say that was Boston winning by 28.
And again, I don't put a lot of stock in regular season scores, and I don't think that really counts. Is when you got these two type of teams. Like, I think it's different. The way you play a playoff game is different than the way you play a regular season game. So I don't think you get as many shots. I think the game slows down. And I think because the game slows down, I think that favors the Mavs. So we're going to see. We're going to see. I mean, I think, again, I think it's going to boil down to the strategy from J. Kidd. As much as we talked about the players and who got that dog and who doesn't and this, that, and the third, I think J. Kidd is going to have a strategy, and I'm just interested to see how Missoula responds to it. So
yeah, I like Missoula. Missoula's a West Virginia guy.
I didn't even believe you when you said that, to be honest with you. The way you said that,
I like Missoula a lot. He's a West Virginia guy. He played all 4 years at WVU. He beat John Wall. Like people don't know this. It's a fun fact, guys. That year, John Wall was at Kentucky, and they got knocked out early, and they were all predicted to win the championship with ease. Joe Mazzulla drew the defensive matchup on John Wall and shut him down. And then the very next round, WVU got smacked because they shouldn't have been there either. But it's funny that one of Joe Mazzulla's claims is he's the guy that knocked out John Wall.
Wall stopper.
Yeah, he was the wall stopper. So I love this, man. This is a great first episode.
Yeah.
A couple of people come and hung out with us. I think that's cool.
Yeah, appreciate you, Kimon, and who's that? Amore
and Dyron tapped in. It's gonna be fun to put a couple of clips of this up and see what people say about your crazy takes. For sure.
So tomorrow, 12:30, we're gonna do game 1 of the NBA Finals recap. And it's gonna be a good time. Thank you all for tuning in. Definitely like this, subscribe, share it with somebody, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Love y'all.